Pumunta sa office.com at mag-login gamit ang Microsoft account na binigay sa atin ng DepEd. I-type natin ang ating email and then ang temporary password. Sa mga first-time logins, kailangan natin palitan ng ating temporary password. So makikita natin itong dialog box na ito. So make sure na palitan natin ito to our original and a more secure password. Once done, kailangan natin i-secure ang ating account. Now, normally, hihingan tayo ng phone authentication, ng email, or maglalagay tayo ng security questions. Kailangan natin i-fulfill ang isa sa mga ito. For this example, try natin i-authenticate ang phone para mag-secure ang ating account. So, piliin natin yung country, which in this case, the Philippines, and i-type natin ang ating registered mobile number. Dito sa registered mobile number, pwedeng i-text sa atin or itawag sa atin ang verification code. Kapag natanggap natin ang verification code, ita-type natin sa field sa ibaba. And there you go. Now, meron tayong access sa portal. Now, dito sa portal, makikita natin lahat ng benefits and lahat ng apps na pwede nating i-download. We can click on Install Office para mag-download lahat ng ito and magamit na natin sila. Paano i-reset ang ating password? Okay, so step 1, punta tayo sa aka.ms/sspr. Tandaan na capital letters din ang SSPR. Pagkatapos, ilalagay natin yung email or username natin sa unang field. Sa sumunod na field naman, ilalagay natin yung mga characters na nakikita natin. Sunod, kailangan natin ilagay ang ating registered mobile number. Dahil dito isi-send yung verification code. Kapag tatanggap natin to, ilalagay na natin to sa field. Ilagay ang verification code na natanggap para mag-proceed. At dito, pwede na nating palitan yung ating password. Siguraduhin na malakas ang ating password and there you go. Pumunta sa office.com at mag-login gamit ang ating DepEd Microsoft account. Click Sign In at ilagay ang ating username and password. Click Sign In. Kapag ka-login natin, i-click natin ang Install Office sa upper right upang simulan ang installation. Tandaan at sundan ang instructions na ikita natin sa screen and hintayin natin matapos ma-download ang ating installer. Makikita natin ang downloaded installer sa ating Downloads folder. Buksan lang natin ito at sundan ang mga instructions. Kapag na-install na ang ating Office, i-login lang ang ating DepEd Microsoft account. And there you go. Meron na tayong activated Microsoft Office sa ating devices. Enjoy! Type natin ang teams.microsoft.com sa ating internet browser at mag-login gamit ang ating DepEd Microsoft account. And makikita na natin ang Microsoft Teams. Pwede na natin to gamitin online, pero kung gusto natin i-download, i-click lang natin tong icon sa pinakababa. and magda-download ang ating Teams installer. Hintayin nito matapos, i-run at meron na tayong Teams app. Sa mga magda-download naman sa mobile, pwede tayong pumunta sa Play Store or sa App Store and hanapin ang Microsoft Teams. I-download lang ito at i-login ang ating DepEd Microsoft account. Pumunta sa education.minecraft.net para simulan ang ating download. Click on Download, scroll down, and click on Download Now. Hintayin matapos ang pag-download ng ating installer. Makikita natin ang downloaded installer sa Downloads folder natin na nakasave sa ating device. Click and run natin ito para simulan ang install. At kapag na-install na, mag-login lang gamit ang ating DepEd Microsoft account and meron na tayong Minecraft Education Edition. And there we go. Pwede tayong gumawa ng sarili nating world and click on play. And just like that, meron na tayong Minecraft Education Edition that we get for free. Feel free to create your own virtual world and interact with other classmates and explore other virtual worlds as well. You can explore more virtual worlds by clicking on the View Worlds and the Library.
Good day everyone! Magandang araw sa inyong lahat and welcome to DepEd Tech Webinar Series. I'm John Norin Magno from Line Learning and Development Solutions, a global training partner of Microsoft. Today we're going to talk about a new exciting tool called Microsoft Outlook. And we're going to talk about 4 things today. So first is how to get started with your Microsoft Outlook. So, paano ko ba siya i-access? Para saan ba to? At ano yung mga functionalities na kailangan kong gawin or i-tweak para ma-personalize siya in such a way na magagamit ko siya na maayos? Another thing that we're gonna do is how to do the email functionalities na madalas natin ginagawa. Like, for example, how to create a new email, how do you respond, forward, or even attach an email like a Word document, an Excel file, or probably a PowerPoint presentation. Next is, how do you now organize those emails na natatanggap mo on a daily basis? Such as creating a folder, flagging it, or pinning it. Those are the things that we're going to discuss later on as we go along the session. And lastly, aside from email, we're going to talk about calendars and papaano mo ngayon i-manage yung calendar mo at the same time, makita or ma-access yung mga calendar ng ibang taong kasama mo sa DepEd. And if you stay longer, at the end of the session, we're going to talk about a new bonus topic like bookings and polls that you will be excited to use. So what is Microsoft Outlook? So let's say in the scenario wherein you open your documents via Microsoft Word, and let's say spreadsheet reports, numbers using Microsoft Excel, and your presentation slide using PowerPoint. The main application for you to access your emails or the calendar activities inside DepEd is Microsoft Outlook. And Microsoft Outlook looks like this, wherein on the left side, you have your folders, on the middle, you have your emails, and then onto your right is the content of the email. Now, before we talk about the features and functionalities of what Microsoft Outlook is, let me give you a tour on ways to access your mail and calendar from different devices. We all know that a lot of us, we use different devices and we have applications that can help us to be productive. So the first is the desktop application. As part of the benefit of using your Office 365 or Microsoft 365, you can install Microsoft Outlook to your desktop application into 5 devices. Whether you're using a Windows-based, a Mac-based, or Android. And what's nice about the desktop application is, in the scenario we're in, you have internet access or without internet access or probably intermittent internet access, you would still be able to read, respond, check your calendar using the desktop application. Now, another way of you to access your mail and calendar, especially if you're the type of person who is on the go, is using the mobile application. Whether you're using an iOS, an Android, or using another application yes, such as Amazon Play Store, just download Microsoft Outlook, and from there you would be able to access your emails on the go. And lastly, we have the web browser. So as long as you have different device and you have the latest browser or the supported web browser for you to access Microsoft Outlook, such as Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or Safari, you will still be able to access your mail and calendar while on the go. Now, for today, we're going to focus on how to access Microsoft Outlook on the web. So to get started, let me show you how to log in and open Microsoft Outlook using your web browser. So first, onto the URL, you just type there portal.office.com, or another option for you to access it is by typing office.com. Once it loads, you have the option to sign in. And once you click on sign in, you would be able to enter your username and password. And once you're done, just click on sign in and automatically it will open the dashboard of your Microsoft 365. Now, for you to access Microsoft Outlook onto your sidebar, you can click on Microsoft Outlook icon or use the app launcher and use or click Microsoft Outlook. Once you're done, just click on that and automatically it will open your Microsoft Outlook. Now, let's try to go to change the view and look of our Microsoft Outlook. So of course, we have different preferences in terms of how we navigate and use the application. So let me just show you how to quickly change the settings so that you would be able to check if it's a good thing or not on your preference. So first, the first thing that you need to do is to go to the View tab, look for the layout, and select on the reading pane. So most of the time, the reading pane is hidden. And in terms of density, it can be cozy or compact depending on the view. You can also use Control and scroll up to zoom in and Control scroll down to zoom out. So it's based on their preference actually. Now, in the scenario we're in, gusto mo yung dati or yung new look and feel, and mas preferred mo yun, just click onto the reading pane and just show on the right so that whenever you read an email, it goes to the right portion of your screen. Of course, your personalized view is very important in terms of how you will be able to access your mail correctly. Now, let's talk about inserting email signature to your email. More often than not, you might have it already, but in Microsoft Outlook, probably you might be wondering, how do I now insert email signature? So let me show you. So the first thing that you need to do is to click onto the gear icon, and then from the search, type their signature. Automatic, just click on the email signature, and you can now compose and reply and create your own signature. From here, I'm going to create a template called DepEd main signature for any new responses or new emails that I want to do. So you can type it there manually, but if you have a template already, just simply copy and paste from a Word document and paste it to your Microsoft Outlook on the web. And if you have images, just copy it and then paste it directly from your template. And then just click on Save. Now, if you want to create more template, you can do so just by clicking on New Signature. And then for reply or response or forward, just type there a simple message like your name and your contact number. But in this scenario, I'm just going to click on reply. And then for any new messages, I'm going to use the DepEd main template or the DepEd main signature. And for replies and forward, I'm going to use the reply template. So once you click on save, automatically it gets saved to your computer, and whenever you create a new email, it will have the signature. So again, It depends on you on how you will customize the look and feel of your signature. Best practice, you always put the mobile number so that whenever people wants to access or probably do follow ups on you, your mobile number is there, or probably if you have a website or a calendar to set appointment. So later on, we'll talk about calendar in the next few slides. Now that we're done customizing all of those, the basics of your Outlook, let me now show you how to create an email. So creating an email is very straightforward. It's like creating a new document or a new spreadsheet. So for you to do that, just go to the home tab and just click on new email. And from there, you have different options like how to insert or attach file, format the text, or even show options. If you need to have that BCC option, there's BCC there. And then from the subject line, you can now start doing your email message to the person you want to send the email. So for this scenario, I'm going to type here group message for a project, the title or the subject, and then I can compose an email using the at mention. So at mention is something different or something new that I encourage everyone to use because in the long run, it's going to help you. And I'm going to discuss more about the at mention later. So here, I'm going to email you for Passion, and then I'm going to type here, kindly check, please, thank you. Okay, and for this, I can easily send it, or if I'm not ready, I can discard it if I want to. For this scenario, I just gonna click send. Now, replying to an email. So it's different from new email. New email is straightforward, new email. But if you have an existing email that you need to respond to, this is how you do it. So first, open an email, and then onto the reading pane, you scroll down, and then look for the reply or forward button. Or you also have different icons, small icons that you can use to reply forward, or even use emoji to respond to an email. So it's a new way of responding to an email. It's very unique because once you click on that, it's confirming that you already confirmed or read the email. So I encourage everyone to also use the emoji confirmation. And whenever you want to do customized email, you just click on reply or forward and then type there your email message to that person. In this scenario, I'm just going to test if this works. If I want to click onto a new email or another email, automatic, there's a draft option there. You can always go back to the draft folder whenever you have a draft messages, but it's giving you an idea that there's a draft email that you need to send to. Okay, now here I'm just gonna pop it out a little so that it's going to have a big window or screen for me to type my email ad or type my email to another person. So here I'm gonna test if this works and then I'll thank the person and then after that I have the option to click on send. Now, going back to the scenario earlier, emoji confirmation. I highly put it here and encourage everyone to use emoji confirmation because it is easier to confirm. Sometimes ang challenge natin is we're having a hard time replying to an email or probably a lot of us composing to that email. Another way of confirming to an email is just by clicking emojis, heart. If it's a celebration like happy birthday, it can be a celebration or anything else. So use that as part of your Office 365. You can use that if you're using a desktop application, a mobile device, or even a web browser. Now, there is a scenario or common ask from our end in terms of I want to unsend or undo send message or email message to another person. So and another scenario can be something like ang challenge kasi is when you send an email, you send it ng 9 o'clock p.m. So sometimes people don't want to have those kind of emails na nare-receive nila late at night. So let me show you ways on undo sending an email, okay, and at the same time scheduling an email for sending so that uh, you're making sure that the person would be able to read it and at the same time no pressure from his or her end na kailangan kong basahan yung email ng 9 p.m. Because more often than not, you have or receive an email, something like that, because sometimes it's urgent, right? Now, for that to happen is this. Just click onto the settings and then click here undo or type there undo. Once you click on undo, under the compose and reply, you have the option to undo send between 5 seconds and 10 seconds. So here in the scenario, what I'm going to do is I'll do it in 5 seconds and then I click on save. Once you click on save, click close and let's test it out. So I'm going to scroll down, reply to that email, and then I'll type here test undo. Okay, there's a feature there na autocomplete then just in case. If I click on send, there you go, it's sending and you have there the undo button. So once you click on undo, it will not send dun sa mailbox nung tao na sinasendan mo. Okay, so that's how you do it. Now, in the scenario wherein you want to send it on a specific date and time to a person and you don't want to stress him out na kailangan niya mag-respond to that email and you want to make sure na mabasa niya talaga, you can click on schedule send and then from there you can customize that date and time. Let's say I'm going to send it on February 27 and then click on 9 a.m. and then I'll click on send. So what's going to happen there is it's going to send. Okay, it will go to the sent items, but take note of this. Let's say, for example, na, oh, nasa na kaya napunta siya? Okay, so if you go to the sent items, if you scroll down, there is a portion there na scheduled send on Monday ng February 27 ng 9 a.m. So that's how you manage undo send. Pag nagkamali ka na send, may undo button ka. And at the same time, if you have that option to schedule the sending of an email, you can do so. Again, undo send, it gives you time to rethink before sending an email. And schedule sends, you can send emails within work hours. Now, let's talk about how to attach an attachment in an email. So you have different options. So you can create a new email if you want to, and then from there, go to insert, and then you have there the attach file at the upper left. But you also have an option down below, the clip icon, and click on attach. It's either you browse this computer, OneDrive, or upload and share. In this scenario, I'm going to go from my desktop computer and upload a PowerPoint presentation. If it's more than 33 MB, it will ask you to upload and share in OneDrive link. But since this is a less than 33 MB, I can attach a copy. Okay, so once there, you see it's 32 MB, it's attaching the file. I have the option to remove the attachment if I want to. Okay, there you go. Or I can, while it's still uploading, I have the option to attach another file. Let's say in this scenario, my file is in OneDrive. I don't need to open another application. So in this scenario, a PDF file, and then I'll share the link. So do you see the difference? When it's attached, you will see it as a at the top, but if it's a link, it goes down below in the text box or the content. So I'll send it to John Erwin Magno. Oh, notice there's a missing subject. So it's very smart enough to detect that I don't have any subject, or even if you have missed an attachment based on your email, it will tell you or prompt you to attach an attachment. So again, use case for this, if you have big attachments, more than 33 MB, videos like output of your students or probably you internally in DepEd, let's say an Excel file that is very big, you can attach it in OneDrive, upload it in OneDrive, and then attach it here with a link. Again, just to remind, there's an option to do mail reminder in your email. Just in case you miss it, just click on don't send and then type the mail subject. And then you also have the option for attachments. Now, let's talk about rights management. So this is a little bit advanced in terms of attaching a file, but this is very important, lalo na if we're talking about policies, we're talking about salary, or probably a document that you don't want to get forwarded to any other people outside the Department of Education. So to do that, you can actually create a new email or respond to an email. And then whenever you put an attachment, you can click here, the clip icon. And then let's say I'll browse a computer, I'll put a Word document file. And then under the options tab, I have the option to encrypt it. Okay. So it depends on the policy on your organization. In this scenario, I'll just simply do not forward and then type there the person that I want to send the email to. So using my line email, and then let's say, for example, this is a guide that should be Erwin would be able to open. Okay. Now, I'll just type there a message, please check, and then click on send. So what's going to happen next? So if you want to make sure that your emails are secured, please use that option so that whenever they forward it or let's say they copy and save the file automatically using the rights management feature of your Microsoft Outlook, the document is safe and hindi siya may edit or hindi siya ma-access ng kahit na sino na tao. Okay? Of course, guided that I've used the do not forward option. Let me just do a recap or review. Again, you just click on new email, select the person you want to send. Again, that person will be able to open the file or open the document. It will ask to sign in or sign in whenever he or she is accessing that mail. And then once he or she type it, okay, just click on it's either high or low in terms of priority. Again, options, select on the encrypt functionality, and then I'll click on do not forward or encrypt. Okay, so here in just do not forward, and then you can always change the permission if you want to, pwedeng view or edit access. In this scenario, I'm just gonna type the same email, please check, and then click on send. So what's gonna happen here is if I try to open it using another application, it will actually block me to open it. So let's say Microsoft Outlook, I have it here. I'll open it up, and once it loads, even the screen capture wasn't able to give me that access. If I try to open the file, it will prompt me the email. This message is restricted. Once I double click, as you can see, my mouse there is moving. I'm trying to demo it, but it doesn't allow me because the rights management also stops me from recording that area. Okay, so that's very smart. And another tip that I can share to you in terms of rights management, whenever you have attachment like a Word document, an Excel file, or a PowerPoint document, the rights management feature also encrypts and have that same option in terms of opening the document. So let's say me as a person, I copy the file to a thumb drive or share it to another person. If that person tried to open the file, automatically it will ask me for my username and password. And once it knows that I'm not part of that document that I should be able to access, it would reject me to open the file. So that's how important this right management works inside your organization. Okay, so again, it depends on what rights management service or policy or permission that was given to you. Again, what's really nice here is for you, you have the option to do not forward. The do not forward is always, once you click on that, naka-disable na yan. But like this, the confidential view only, they don't have edit access if you have confidential view only. Okay, now we're done with securing your email and email attachment. Now, let's say you want to read onto that email or you want to read an email, especially with an attachment. So it's easy because when you read an email, just click on the email, automatic on the right side, you will see the email. But how does it work if you have an attachment? So let me show you. So first, I'll go to one of my folder, let's say in sent items because I sent something earlier. If I click on an email, you have two options here. So the first is the PowerPoint presentation that I have. I have the option to preview it now. It will show me a dialog box, and then I can move from one slide to another. You have an option to edit or open it in a desktop. download, save to OneDrive, or go back. Let's say you want to edit in browser, it's there, desktop, or save to your OneDrive, or you can download. So same options that applies. Now, if you have a PDF file that's show you attached link, once you click on that, it will open a new window or a new tab, and then automatic you can view the document right inside your web browser. So you don't necessarily need to open that application or a certain application just to view those attachments. Okay, again, best practice, if you don't need to edit or attach or open the document like spreadsheet or PowerPoint presentation, you can open it directly on a web browser. So it saves time, it saves you space, and at the same time, a scenario can be in a computer shop wherein you don't want to download the file because sometimes we forgot to delete the file inside the desktop application. So, or the desktop folder. So the best way to secure your files is just open it within the browser. Okay, and then of course, don't forget to sign out. Now, let's talk about how to manage or put some comments or probably make sure that you will be able to read or prioritize your emails based on schedule or based on priority. So what I'm showing you right now is how to mark an email as read or unread. Okay, it's easy as that. And then on to the right is the flag mechanism, which I'll talk more about. So let's say, for example, this document or this email is will be next week, and then I have the option also to pin the email at the top. So commonly, pinning is not used in a lot of email platforms, but here you have the capability because most of the time when we read an email, we mark it as read. If you want to go back on that email, we mark it as unread. Okay, so if you want to put priority into your email, you can actually pin it or flag it if schedule permits you so. Now, in flagging emails, going back, just to have a recap, it's in the center whenever you mouse over on an icon. And then once you scroll down, you have the option to send it tomorrow or probably read it tomorrow. And what's nice there is if you're using that capability, there's another tool called Microsoft To Do. And from there, makikita mo lahat yung mga email messages mo na finlag. So if you need to go back to that email, meron kang task management or checklist kung natapos mo na ba tong email na to or nabasa mo na or you need to respond to that email. So flagging an email is very important lalo na if you need to manage yung mga responses. Example, yung subject matter expert, hindi mo siya ma-reach. So, kailangan mo siyang balikan or let's say someone responded to your email, wala yung boss mo or your manager. Kailangan mo siyang balikan by next week kasi yung manager or yung boss mo goes back by next week. So, you can flag that email so that by next week, using your Microsoft To Do, you would be able to know, I have pending tasks na nakaschedule. Rather than marking it as unread, hahanapin mo kung saan yung email message na yon. And at the same time, you don't really know kung kailan mo siya kailangan. Let's talk about search and filters. Of course, there are different ways for you to look for emails. But what's really nice here in Microsoft Outlook, using the search bar gives you that capability to easily search within your mailbox. So to demo it, I'll just simply click onto the search box and then type there Teams Coach. Once I press enter, it shows me all of the mailbox that I have. And if I need to navigate and check what other tools that I have, like Focus or other, I can do so. If I need to filter it, I can filter it with unread messages. Sometimes it's 200. If I click on filter, you can also do flag. Remember the flag capability that I've showed you earlier? And let's say you want to use to me if it's directly to me and if with attachment or at mentions me. So remember the first when we create an email, I told you about the at mention. This is how it looks like. Whenever you use at mention, it gives you that power or capability on searching the files or the emails that is directed to you. Again, it's the best, for me, it's a practice that everyone should know. If you need call to action to another person, it's better that you at mention that person so that he or she would be able to filter out of 200 unread emails or 100 mails that I have. Ano yung mga call to actions that I need to focus on? And using that at mention gives me the power to focus on what emails that I need to focus on. Now, let's talk about rules and folders. So, whenever in the scenario we're in, you're receiving multiple emails, 100, 200 emails per day, and sometimes you are subscribed to an email mailer. So, best scenario, if you don't want to unsubscribe, it's better to use rules and folders while using your Microsoft Outlook. So to do that, let's say in the scenario you want to create a folder, just right click on the folder and then you can type there whatever folder that you want. So in this scenario, I'll just put guides, I'll go to the inbox and I'll look for an email that I can easily uh, drag and drop to that folder. Okay. So if ever you want to automate things, you can select that move and then probably look for the move all messages from. This way, you're creating rules for all of the emails that you're receiving. So let's say for future messages, I want to automate it, hindi na pupunta sa inbox. And then let's say I want to put it onto the Irwin folder. So all emails from Irwin goes to this folder. So I can sweep messages, I can view rules if I want to check kung tama ba yung rule ko. I can click on the play button to run it again. And then once you're done, just click on the X button. And then automatically, if you go to the Irwin folder, all of the emails coming from Irwin goes to this folder. So ano yung use case nito? Whenever you want to automate all of your emails directly to a folder, you can do so. Example, nakaka-receive ka ng emails or reports from the field, you can put it into folders. So, kunyari, different, you're from the regional office and then you have different divisions, automatic, lagay mo per division coming from this email. So, pwede mong gawin yon. Okay? Rather than you have a lot of inbox and then one by one, chinecheck mo and probably ngayon ang focus mo is region 7 or probably the division of Iloilo, for example. So at least meron kang folders for it. You can easily navigate from one folder to another folder. Please take note lang, if you're using rules and folders, please make sure na chinecheck mo from time to time. Because sometimes when you create rules and folder, hindi mo rin binabasa yung folder mo, baka nami-miss mo na other a lot of emails na pala napupunta dun sa folder na yon without you noticing it. So again, it's a case-to-case basis. I highly suggest create one rules, check mo from day to day kung it would work with you. Now we're done with emails. Let's go to the next part of our scenario we're in, managing calendars. How do you access calendar? A lot of people that I know don't really use the calendar capability of their computer. It's okay if you're used to create using a calendar into your desk. It's okay, but I highly suggest start making use of your calendars. Why? Because of the setup right now na meron tayong virtual, may hybrid, we need to invite people virtually. It's better that they can see and look kung ano yung access mo sa calendar or ano yung available schedule mo onto your calendar. Now, for you to easily access the calendar, onto the left side, just click onto the calendar icon. And once you click on that calendar icon, it goes directly to your Outlook calendar. And from here, you can change the view from a weekly or month if you want to. In this scenario, I'm going to show it to you by weekly so that from date and time of the week, you would be able to see your calendar. As of the moment, I don't have any. So later on, I'll show you how to create a calendar or invite. Now, to create an invite or event, the way to do it is under the calendar, you can select on the new event. And once you click on new event, it will pop a window or a dialog box wherein you can now start typing there kung ano yung subject mo. So let's say the subject is checking emails. So I want to check it. And most of the time, I check my emails daily. So I have the option here to remove the areas that I don't want to check or put it in the calendar, like Saturday and Sundays. And until when ko ba siya gagawin? So if I click on save and then scroll down, I have the option there to also put some information, more information about that calendar event. So here, I'm making sure that every day I'm going to manage my emails and calendars first thing in the morning. So once I click on save, automatic makikita nyo from on a weekly basis, I see to it na I check it. So probably you might be wondering, nasan dyan ngayon? I remove the date. I scroll up and nandun. 7 o'clock, I always check my emails and my calendars. Okay? So those are the ways for you to create your calendar or event. Please make sure if you have personal time, or let's say you need to go to an event of your kid, you can block your personal time there, or probably you're on leave, put there so that everyone would know if they check your calendar, hindi nila kailangan or hindi sila mag-expect na maka-receive sila ng email sa'yo because they know that you're out, probably you're busy, you're in a meeting. So that's how you create an event. Now, if you want to invite a person in a meeting and it's not an event anymore or your personal calendar, you can do a meeting invite. Aside from clicking new event, I'm going to show you another way to do it. Inside your calendar mismo, you can, on that date and time, you can pop it out if you want to make it more intuitive. So from here, I'm going to type there emergency meeting. Kasi minsan may mga emergency meeting talaga tayo. And as you can see from here, I'm gonna do it for Inset. I'm gonna invite some people, like my other email address or probably my best friend Ufer. And then from here, as you can see, I can also check kung yung information about that person if I hover. And if I want to add more, I just simply type there Miss Email. Okay? On to your right, you will see then also your current calendar. So alam mo agad na wala kang conflict. You can adjust the date and time. So 8:30 to 10, it's not good because I have a catch-up meeting on that end. Okay? Now, let's say, for example, I scroll down and then I'll add a description. Please make sure if you're going to create a meeting invite, please include an agenda so that everyone would know kung ano yung pagmimitingan natin for today rather than on that day saka lang natin pag-uusapan. So once I click on send, automatic, makaka-receive lahat ng mga recipients ko like Ufer or Miss Emel onto that meeting and it goes directly to their calendar. Again, inviting participants on a virtual meeting gives them an option to join the meeting online. Especially ngayon, di ba, hybrid. If people are, minsan na stuck on the traffic and then gusto nila mag-join the meeting pero kasi traffic pa nga. So what you can do is you can give that virtual option to them so that they can also join that meeting and give their feedback or suggestions in terms of the meeting about Inset, example. Of course, guided that we want to make sure na okay ang calendar invite natin. You have the agenda, you have the date, but at the same time, you want to check if the person that you are sending the calendar invite is available or not. So there are two ways that I'm going to show you. We have the schedule assistant and suggested times. So the suggested times is very, very cool because once you create a meeting invite, let's say I have here Inset, and then we're going to talk about the slides today. Okay. And then once I've entered a person, okay, internally within DepEd, let's say Miss Imelda, okay, I'll select her. Automatic, you will have suggested times below. Yun yung based dun sa calendar ni Miss Emel. I don't have to check it one by one. Nagbibigay na si Microsoft Outlook ng suggestion. But if you want to check also kung kailan siya available with another person, you can use the scheduling assistant as shown in the screen and probably check on a different date. So once it's red, of course, hindi available lahat. But once it turns green, ibig sabihin available yung mga taong i-invite mo on that meeting. So in this scenario, I'm going to book it from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on March 1. So once I click on event and then select down, you have the Teams meeting option, if it's going to be virtual or hybrid. And then please again make sure to put agenda. So the agenda for today, I'm gonna let's do an ideation in terms of what we will put in the slides, okay, or the plans, and then what would be the next steps for our inset. So once you're done, just click on send, and automatically the people will be able to receive that meeting invite. Okay. Now, let's say you want to delete a calendar invite. In a scenario na, okay, I think hindi naman matutuloy itong meeting na to, or even your event, let's say na move, you can easily click on edit or cancel. Now, please make sure if you're gonna cancel a meeting, you can edit it or click cancel here, and please notify the attendees why are you canceling it. So that hindi na back and forth tatanungin ka, i-open yung Microsoft Teams nila, "Uy, bakit nawala yung calendar invite?" So here, when you cancel the meeting, automatically nano-notify sila, why are you canceling? To avoid yung mga ganun na mga scenarios na nagtatanong sila, bakit na-cancel yung meeting. Now, let's say nag-send ka ng meeting invite, and ang scenario ngayon is you are the one who is receiving a meeting invite. So how do you accept? It's very important in an organization to know RSVP so that the people would know kung itutuloy ba nila yung meeting or not. So how to do it? So first, let's open a meeting. Pag naka-grayish or may mga slants tayo na area dyan, you have the information to accept, yes, maybe, or no. Once you click on the more options, nandun din yung mga options na yan. So from here, I can click yes. I'll give a confirmation. If you want to send a message, it's okay. So automatic blue yan if nag-accept ka na sa meeting. Now, another is, aside from the calendar, paano kung mas ma-email akong tao? So it's okay, no worries. Kasi inside the email also, you have the RSVP there. And then once you click on that, the same things, the same options that you will have from yes, maybe, or no. So from there, I'll just click on yes, automatic, it will accept. Same goes if you're using a desktop computer or even a mobile device. Again, confirming to a meeting invite is very realistic, especially for let's say an event. 50 yung tao, 40 yung na-confirm. Of course, for me, what I'll do is I'll order 40 food for those people na nag-confirm. If you don't confirm, wala kang food. Kasi it's very hard na parang i-manage yung isang event na hindi mo naman alam kung pupunta yung isang tao. Kasi sayang, di ba? And at the same time, one best practice that I've learned in terms of creating a calendar invite, if the decision maker is not there, better off to move it on another day. Kasi ang nangyayari, kung wala rin yung decision maker, hindi rin na nagpo-proceed yung mga meeting natin. So again, it's best option na mag-RSVP tayo in a calendar invite. Now, let's say you want to change the meeting. Kasi minsan, straightforward, sinend mo sa akin meeting invite, pero I'm not available. I don't have an option. Should I decline or not? So you as a person, confirming to a calendar invite is easy if you want to reschedule. Let's say this scenario. So from here, I can do more options. And then from there, let us look for the option to propose a new time. So once you click on propose a new time, I might be attend because you're still available, but you want the best time for you to meet. In this scenario, I want to move it a 1 hour after. Once you click on done, give them why you are scheduling a request to move the meeting. So here, can we meet on this time instead? Maybe because nasa in transit ka pa or you have another meeting. So once you do that, it will be accepted, tentatively accepted, and it will be proposed to another person. So the one who created the meeting invite, he or she would be able to see it, and then he or she has the option to change the schedule to the preferred time that you mentioned. Okay? So again, move schedule request, especially if you have conflict schedule or in transit ka pa, you're anticipating na hindi ka available dito because you're on leave, better to use that as part of your functionality. Now, you as a person, you're the one who created the meeting invite. How do you now track it and how do you change the schedule? So here, what you need to do is this. So first, click onto the meeting invite. See, there's a conflict. I can click on that and then I have the option. It's either you double click or edit. And then from there, dun sa right side may tracking. So nakita ko agad na, oh, si John Erwin Magno is not available. I need to change it because he's the decision maker. So I can edit the request and then from there, I can move that calendar invite to a date or schedule. I can use the date picker, okay, and then probably move it by tomorrow. Oh, you're not okay on this time. Probably I'll move it down below, roughly mga 2 o'clock p.m. So it's easy for you to change and track yung mga schedules and once you're done, just click on send, automatic mag-a-appear yan dun sa calendar invite and at the same time to your calendar view. Okay, so again, tracking knows the number of the person in terms of attending the invite or budget for food. If meeting or event should proceed, at least alam mo kung sino yung pupunta at hindi. Or baka 50% hindi pumunta, you might want to consider moving it to another date. Now, these are some of the advanced capability. I want you to search about it. It's called schedule poll. When you create a calendar invite or you're having a hard time, lalo na kung external, kasi when you talk about external or outside DepEd, hindi mo alam or hindi mo makikita kung available yung tao o hindi. So the best way to do that is use schedule poll so that the people would be able to vote their preferred time, their availability based on the time and schedule na gusto mong iset. And when you create that kind of poll, automatic, nakikita yan here dun sa calendar nila. When you see those hold, ibig sabihin, hinold mo na on those date and time. Once na nag-confirm, you as an organizer who created the poll has the capability to send the updated calendar in an instant. Rather than you parang binablock mo one by one on those dates, iisa-isahin mo which is very tedious. Ako ang suggestion ko, you use the schedule poll para pag kailangan nilang mag-confirm or mag-vote like company outing or lunch out with the team or para to celebrate a birthday of another person, you can do a scheduled poll. Okay? Of course, we have this capability called Microsoft Bookings. So Bookings has been around there for such a long time. And what's really nice here in using your Outlook calendar, nandyan na siya. So para saan ba si Bookings? So technically, Bookings is used for setting a meeting with you, either internal or external. And you are preferring kung anong scheduled dates ka available for booking. So mamaya I'll give you more scenarios on how to use bookings inside Microsoft Outlook. In this scenario, I'm just going to show you how to navigate and how to access your Microsoft bookings. So first, you go to your calendar. You have their add kung wala pa. If meron na, you just click on edit booking page. It opens a new tab and it goes to this page. Now, you have the option to do it on public or private. In this scenario, I'm going to do it on public so that everyone can book me, whether internal or external. So, I have here consultation. I'll put some categories if I have category. Kung wala naman, you can leave it blank. And then probably I'll add a description kung para saan ba to. So, in this scenario, let's say I'm a doctor and I'm going to share my time or my calendar to everyone for consultation for any health related issues. So from here, consult on health. I'll scroll down. You can automatically do Teams meeting. And then you have the option down below to use regular meeting hours, which is 8 to 5 madalas. But you can also do a custom availability. So in this scenario, I'm going to do custom availability. I don't want them to book me on Monday and Friday because I'm busy and also Wednesday. Probably they can book me on Tuesday from 8 o'clock up to 12 o'clock p.m. or 12 noon or 12:30. So I can also do the same with Thursday. I can adjust it depending on the availability that I have. So I can have more options. Let's say buffer time before they can send a meeting invite or every time na magbe-meeting invite. I have the minimum lead time. By default, it's 1 hour. So that whenever they book, ito dapat yung lead time. And maximum lead time, mga advanced na nagbe-book, you can do up to 14 days if you want. That's up to you. Once you click on save, automatic, you already have your booking calendar. And what you need to do is just copy the link. You can use it in your Microsoft Outlook as part of your signature. Or in this scenario, just to show you how it looks like, ito yung magiging look and feel whenever they want to consult and have that meeting invite with you for consultation. See, naka-block na yung mga calendar. Whenever you have a calendar uh, schedule on that date and time, hindi na siya makikita dun sa options. So here, how do they book? They can put their name, their email address, depending on the form that you want to include. So probably you can put some attachment if you want, but in this scenario, it's a generic thing. So thank you. I want to talk about managing my time and energy inside the organization. Okay. Once you're finished, just click on book and then you're done. Automatic, it goes directly to that person or to you who created that booking. Okay? So it's up to you na gagawin mo na lang is to accept or decline or set another schedule for that person. Okay? So booking is very important. Uh, a scenario can be as teachers, you can do one-on-one. The parents can do one-on-one with you. So for example, pang umaga yung class mo, and at the same time, the afternoon, you want to use that with booking ng parents to ask, how's the performance of my kid or my son or my daughter? So ang pwede mong gawin, maglagay ka ng bookings para they can book a date and time with you. Okay? Rather than pupunta na lang sila doon kung kailan nila gusto. So at least mamamanage mo din yung time and energy mo. Baka mamaya umalis ka tapos biglang sabihin, hindi siya available. So better to give that option to them. Or project consultation for your students, lalo na sa mga high school students. So let's say I have questions on my report or on our research. Ang challenge namin is hindi namin alam kung ano yung next step. So you can also book a calendar or give them that option to book you. Now, I put here guidance counselors. It's because one of the scenario when I was teaching with DepEd is na-surprise ako na there are some areas or some schools na nag-share sila ng guidance counselor. Because probably one guidance counselor moved to another or probably wala talaga. So sometimes they share same guidance counselor in 2 schools or 3 schools. So kung limited din yung experts on that field, you can do that so that they can book a guidance counselor. Since there's an option for Teams meeting, the guidance counselor doesn't need to go to that place, but just meet with the people involved for that counseling. Okay? For in general, for example, appointment with the central office or office staff or the SDO officers, whether you're talking about your performance, time with your HR, or probably you have questions about legalities. So those who are lawyers here who are listening, pwede kayong gumawa ng booking and open it for all so that they can book you whenever they have questions on legal aspect. So again, it's part of your Office 365 Microsoft bookings inside your Microsoft Outlook. I highly suggest to make use of it. So just to recap of what we've discussed today, I showed you how to get started with Microsoft Outlook. What is it? It's basically your email and calendar, how to access using your Outlook. You go to office.com or portal.office.com, how to change the view so that you will be able to tweak based on your preference, how to insert signature so that whenever you send an email, it's easier for you to uh, give them an idea where to access or where to follow up whenever they can't access you via email. Some basic email functionality that I was able to show you is how to create a new email, respond to an email, do some emojis, include attachment with rights management, how to read emails, how to move emails manually or probably creating rules to another folder, how to search emails for you to easily see kung nasan ba yung mga emails ko without you going one by one. You can do filters like at mentions. Remember, the at mentions is very powerful whenever you want that person to prioritize on that email or call to action. Again, whenever you do mention, so for example, you email or respond to an email, at mention that person. Okay? So that whenever he or she is filtering the email, alam niya kung ano yung kailangan niyang i-prioritize. Okay? You can also pin whenever it's on top. Mas madali niya ma-access. It can be put in the calendar or you have the option to flag it so that using the flag, alam niya kung kailan niya babalikan yung email na to. Especially if the person is not around, the expert is not around, or ma-remind ako na kailangan ko balikan tong email na to on this date and time. And lastly, we talk about the calendars. How to send an invite. How do you now create an event to block? How to do a recurrence in terms of your calendar invite? How do you now make sure that the person is available or not by using scheduling assistant, okay, or suggested times? How do you now accept an invite? Why is it important to do RSVP so that people will be able to know that you're going or not? And at the same time, are we going to pursue this meeting or not? Because if the decision maker is not there, you might want to move it to another date and time. Okay? The tracking or probably rescheduling, how to reschedule. And we even give you an option to do the bookings or polls during the session. So with that, thank you so much for your time and I hope this hour of learning session is very powerful and important to you.
Magandang hapon sa inyong tanan. Welcome to our first ever episode of our DepEd Tech webinar series. So today is episode 1, Enhance Organization Productivity with Microsoft Teams. Now, before we go directly to our topic for today, let me just step back a little and give you a concept of what the Tech webinar series will be. So for those who are attending right now, maraming salamat for joining us for today. And we want everyone to be happy on this session. So please, everyone, I want you to have that growth mindset. We know we have a lot of things that we are doing right now. Sometimes baka ngayon nagmumultitask tayo, but at the same time, it's good that we would be able to focus undivided attention to know the capabilities of what we can do and offer using the technology na pwede natin gamitin. Of course, this session is going to be a show and tell. This is just to give you awareness, to give you more information about the tech tools that you're going to use. But if ever there's a need in terms of hands-on experience, you can actually put that in the survey link and probably we'll look at it and check kung ano yung mga pwede natin gawin in the program as we move forward. Of course, knowing that these are the capabilities na mga gagawin natin over the tech series, we want you to explore the what-if scenario. Ano yung mga possible things na pwede natin gawin using the technology, giving you that feature or capabilities, and then look at it in a landscape where you are right now. Let's say, for example, I'm the HR practitioner, or probably you're from the finance or legal. Saan ko magagamit yung tech tools na pwede kong gamitin as I move forward so that I would be enabled and at the same time productive using my tools in the workplace. And of course, probably you might be wondering, okay, after this episode, paano kami makikipag-interact? How do we ask questions? You can ask questions right now. We might not be able to answer everything, but take note, we will have a community inside Microsoft Teams wherein you can put all of those questions and collaborate with each other. So, hindi po matatapos ang episode 1 na hindi po kayo kasama dun sa ating teams. Okay? Now, moving forward to our episode 1, let me just give you a landscape of what is the current scenario in a lot of workplace right now. So because of the pandemic, because of what happened, because of COVID, there are needs in place in terms of how we work now. And guided that a lot of us is going on face-to-face mode, going to the office, there are instances that some of the people is wondering, are there capabilities that I can still move forward, I can still work, whether if I'm on the go, especially now, if you're in Metro Manila, there's an instance na pwede ma-experience natin yung traffic, paano kung nalate ako, hindi ako maka-join sa office. So they are looking for ways wherein they can actually use the tools, the tech tools that they have while on the go. So whether you're doing that in the office, at home, or probably at the road, those are the things na pwede nating gawin or pwedeng masolusyonan using the technology that we have. Again, remember, your tools are enablers. Okay? And of course, guided that we have a lot of tools that we need to use. A lot of people are experiencing parang overloaded na kami with a lot of tools na ginagamit. So is there a tool that we can actually centralize everything and put everything in one place wherein we can communicate, collaborate, edit documents, get our files whenever we need it, or probably yung mga approval process namin, or even the websites that we have inside DepEd. So yun yung mga current na mga naging scenario. So they want all of those things to be centralized in such a way they are being productive. But rest assured, yung pagiging productive mo with the tech tools that you have, you want to make sure na even if you're online, you will be able to access your files, your documents, or your how you communicate with others with a secured platform. Okay? Now, a lot of tools, whenever it's secured, ang challenge dyan is it accessible? Accessible ba sa amin yan? Let's say, yung mga edit links or what, or even for people who needs help in terms of using the tech tools. Let's say later on, you'll hear about sign language. So those are the things na ipapakita natin for this episode. Okay, so that's the current scenario in the workplace. And we need to find solution, or we need to mitigate those challenges and find what we can do in a day in the life of Juan de la Cruz from DepEd to enhance organization productivity inside Microsoft Teams. So remember our challenge earlier on doing flexibility, or probably yung ang challenge natin is saan ako magtatrabaho? Where are my tools? So the tools here, when you're using Office 365, the good thing here is whether you're using a desktop computer, a laptop, or even a mobile device, it can actually give you that scenario or that access whenever you go. Okay? And regardless kung ano man platform ginagamit mo, as long as you have connection or you have the application, and at the same time, you have those tools in place installed, automatic you can actually edit or access your files directly while on the go. Okay, so flexible for hybrid workplace, Microsoft Teams is accessible for all platforms. Okay, you just need to have a browser actually. Okay, but of course, a lot of capabilities when you install the application, it can actually give you the job better. Okay, of course, being centralized for all the communication and collaboration tools. Most of the time, our files are some are in the desktop, some in OneDrive, some in SharePoint. So there are a lot of files. Hindi mo alam kung saan mo kukunin. And we need to make sure that those files are secure as well. So the good thing here is it's consolidated into one platform. Okay. And with that in place, later on, as we go along, we'll go to the steps on what are the tools in terms of, or what are the capabilities of Microsoft Teams that I can enhance in terms of how I communicate, deliver my message, and at the same time, collaborate with my colleagues without having any pahirapan na pag-share, etc., etc. So later on, you'll see ano yung mga capabilities na pwede natin gawin. And lastly, it's secured. So there are instances na okay, paano kung na-share ko sa iba? Ano yung backup plan? So, because of data privacy and a lot of things na kailangan natin i-take into consideration when sharing. So, we need to make sure secure yung platform mo, but yet, again, it is accessible. Okay? So, the solution there really is using Microsoft Teams being the central hub of everything. Guided that we have the core applications for productivity tools. We have Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote. We have therefore communications. So see, Microsoft Teams is the central hub for everything. So when you communicate using Outlook or SharePoint or even Yammer, so later on, don't go get overwhelmed with a lot of these icons. If you think na parang bago to so please add that to the survey if you want to learn more about it. So for communication, we have a lot of tools that we can use. For collaboration, that's OneDrive, SharePoint, and later on, I'll give you a run through on whiteboard, Microsoft Whiteboard. So if ever there's no physical whiteboard and you only have your laptop, and at the same time you're collaborating with others virtually, you can actually do a virtual whiteboard. Also for task management, minsan gumagamit tayo ng different tools, but inside your Office 365 accounts, meron pa tayong other tools na pwede gamitin like your personal to-do list, the Microsoft To-Do. If you're collaborating with others, that's Microsoft Planner. May mga projects kayo like, for example, upcoming Inset, etc., etc. So, yung mga things to do mo nandyan. We have Microsoft List. It can be something like inventory, Microsoft Bookings, in the scenario na kailangan mo mag-book ng experts because some areas, like for example, in our clinic, kailangan kong ma-ensure na na-book ko yung doctor. And sure ako na pag pumasok ako, may doctor. Diba? So, paano ako makikipag-communicate sa kanya? So, we have Microsoft Bookings. Think of it na meron na siyang tool, automated, na automatic magre-register ka na lang and to book yung schedule ng doctor. Okay? Automation and dashboards, not part of the topic today, but it's really good to automate all of the processes, and even yung mga reports natin using Power BI, those are great tools that you can use. And all of that is centralized. You can put it in Microsoft Teams para isa na lang yung gagamitin mo na tools. And of course, because of the pandemic, we want to make sure Microsoft made this series or not series, mga applications that is geared towards employee engagement. So mamaya magkakaroon kayo ng glimpse of what is the Viva Suite or Viva Insights, Viva platform na meron tayo inside your Office 365. And of course, there are other tools in place. Whether it's Microsoft technology or a third-party application, the good thing with that is you can actually integrate it inside Microsoft Teams. Now, those are the things na nagagawa ng Microsoft Teams, and being the center of everything that you do, centralized platform, whether you're using desktop, laptop, or a tablet, or even a smartphone, that can actually do the job. Okay? Now, for the next slide, for everyone, I know some of you probably knows about this, but to get everyone on board on what are the how you navigate using Microsoft Teams, probably hindi pa kayo nagkaroon ng training about it. Probably some of you nag-search and explore. Probably this is the best time for you to check ano yung mga applications or parts ng Microsoft Teams para when you ask or talk to your tech support team or help desk, you know kung saan ka mag-navigate, alam mo yung sasabihin mo. Okay? So first, we have on the left side, we have the navigation bar. This is where you navigate yung mga chats, activities, notifications, yung files natin, centralized onto the left side. So left to right yung approach po natin when using Microsoft Teams. We also have the me space. So once you click, let's say for example here on the left side, it will reflect on the me space kung ano yung mga related for you. And once you click on the me space, let's say for example, I click on Teams, these are the teams and channels that I have. Automatic, when I click on that, on the right side, you have access to your me space. This is where you collaborate. This is where you communicate with others. All the things na when you share files, talk to each other, lahat ng mga tools mo nandito, and even up to the files. So remember, dati ang hirap, I have to look for files. I need to go to the website para makuha yung files. But here, it's centralized inside the WeSpace. Okay? And what's really nice about that is when you talk about the parts, kailangan dapat aware tayo on the terminologies. Okay? So the terminologies that we have here are teams. So we're using Microsoft Teams. When you create a team, okay, with no S, let's say, for example, your department name or your project name. So that's a team when you create. And later on, we'll give you a glimpse of what it can do. And then at the same time, when you create a team, there are channels in place. So yung channels are conversations within your department or within that project. So for example, from USD, under yan, pwedeng may channel for ICTS, di ba? So yun yung mga scenario na pwede natin gawin in terms of using Microsoft Teams. Also, from the right side, when you click on a channel, may canvas dyan, and the tabs there at the above, nandyan po yung mga things na kailangan mo access in terms of documents or even websites. You can add more of those. So think of it na parang Excel, or when you open a browser, ito yung mga tabs na pwede mong putahan. And right there, centralize siya inside a Microsoft team. Okay? Now, when you create a channel, what's nice here is, so when you create a team, there's a channel, you have different options to choose from. So before, we have the standard and private. So when you create a standard, automatic, when you create a team, we have a general channel, and then the standard can be something like a communication channel for that specific conversation. Now, private channel is very cool, lalo na if you have files that you need to make sure na specific people lang from that team to access. Again, from that team to access. So when you have that kind of scenario and you don't want everyone, let's say, for example, here, Mark 8 project team, or let's say from all of the ICTS team, di ba? So, we don't want na magkaroon ng access to the other files, lalo na when you're talking about salary, when you talk about budgets. So, probably some pwede magkaroon ng access pero yung iba hindi. So, we highly suggest when you do that, you create it in a private channel. So, if you want to know more about this, don't worry. Kung wala tayong hands-on ngayon, you can ask in the future. Also, yung pinakabago right now is the shared channel. So, a lot of organizations are actually asking for it. Because what if in the scenario na I'm from ICTS and then I need to collaborate with the marketing team, pero hindi sila part ng Office of the Administration, di ba? So, paano ko ngayon makikipag-communicate sa kanila? Rest assured na wala rin silang access to the other channels. So, what's nice there is if you have the shared channel, automatic, dun lang sila sa shared channel magkakaroon ng access if you want to give them access. Okay, so that's really cool for me. Ang suggestion ko dyan in terms of use case, when you use private channels, kung sino lang yung may access within the team, mamaya I'll give a demo. Shared channel, pag may mga external vendors din kayo, aside from internal na team, pero outside your department. So those are the scenarios na pwede nyo gamitin si channels. Now, when you start creating your teams, automatic you can do your conversations. And when you do conversations, there are a lot of tools and capabilities beyond dun sa ginagawa natin na type lang. Enter, di ba? Most of the time when we communicate with others, we just share via email, or probably we use other tools like messaging tools na ginagamit natin when we communicate. And there are other tools pa or functionalities na pwede mong gamitin if you're using Microsoft Teams. Probably ginagamit mo na pero hindi mo pa siya na-explore. So I'm gonna do a demo on using that. So let me just switch to my browser and move it here to the right side. Okay. So I have here my Microsoft Teams. Okay. Same yung look and feel if you're using a desktop computer you installed, and also the web browser. If you're gonna use your mobile device, all of your navigation bar will be at the bottom. But majority, yung access mo is still left to right yung approach. Okay? Now, if I go to communicate with others, there are different ways. I can either go in Teams or chat. So the difference between the two is Teams is more of yung madalas mong kinakausap or within the department or a specific project. Okay, yun yung gagamitin mo. When you do chat, ito yung mga one-on-one conversation with others. Okay, one-on-one, one-to-many, depende yung mga ad hoc na mga chats, dito mo siya ilalagay. Okay, so let's say for example, I want to message my colleague Ufer. So I'll type it here, Ufer. And then, sabihin ko lang dito, hi Ufer. How are you? Ayan. So, ayan yung mga possible scenarios na pwede natin gawin. Okay? And then, at the same time, what's nice here is, all of the chat conversation is here. The files na i-collaborate ko with Ufer is right there and there. Hindi ko kailangan pumunta from another website para lang i-access yung files. And at the same time, if I want to check where does Ufer reports, so since external trainers kami, we don't have access, but if you click on that, you will see who report to whom. Diba? And then at the same time, there are a lot of tools na pwede mong gamitin inside that communication space. Okay, so sabi ni Ufer, all good. So what's nice here is when you do instant communication versus email, this is faster, lalo na kung nagpa-follow up ka. Follow-throughs, ganyan. And speaking of follow-throughs, what's nice about this is when I need attention from Ufer, and let's say for example, kailangan ko ng call to actions. So I have this separate tools below, mga icons na pwede kong gamitin or tools for me to do follow up with Ufer. And most of the time, ang challenge natin, di ba, wala na tayong time para mag-follow up. So paano ko siya i-automate? So from here, I have below, ayan, there you go, this icon, and then there is an option to do a standard message, an important message to notify that this is important. But I like when I do follow up is this urgent tag. So if I click on urgent, for the next, every 2 minutes, for the next 20 minutes, every 2 minutes, pag hindi nababasa ni Ufer yung message, magpa-prompt ng notification kay Ufer that there is a message coming from me. So imagine that. Dati, kailangan mo follow up, ang tagal naman, ganyan, etc. etc. Babalikan mo na naman. So dito, automatic ginagawa ng tool for you to help you for be notified that you have an urgent item. So I need your help on a document for memo distribution. Ayan. So distribution. Okay? So once I send that and it's an urgent item, pag hindi pa nababasa ni friend, prompt yan sa side niya. Okay? For the next 20 minutes. So every 2 minutes for 20 minutes time frame natin. Okay? So that's really nice if you're calling the attention of the person. Okay? Now, aside from that, there are other tools na pwede natin gamitin giving reports to the person. Let's say, for example, I want to do a collab with you for on a chat. And probably yung mga call to actions namin. So this is a new tool and very promising itong tool na to inside Microsoft Office 365 Universe. Okay? So if I click on that, this is actually called loop components. So loop components, ang kinaganda dyan, the vision of that is whenever you have a loop component, you can copy and paste that link and paste it to whatever Microsoft application that you have. Let's say, for example, dito nagko-collab pa rin kami ni Ufer, but some of the things na ginagawa na namin is gusto namin gamitin yan for a PowerPoint presentation. So I can get that link and paste it in PowerPoint so that hindi na namin uulitin pa, ika-copy and paste, tapos kung nag-update kami dito, hindi updated yung kabila. So dito, si loop component can actually help you on that. And let's say, for example, we have some checklists that we need to do in terms of a program. Ayan, so already sent the memo. Ang bilis talaga ni Ufer, di ba? So for here, inset preparation. Okay, if automatic dyan, magkakaroon ng specific people with the link and edit. So first, if I want Ufer to edit this, I can send this para at the same time, habang nagsisync na yan inside Microsoft Teams, automatic Ufer can also access it. So kung napapansin nyo, I'm not typing anything, but Ufer is already putting those inputs inside that loop component so that hindi namin kailangan na ano pa ba. So mas mapapabilis yung process natin in terms of approvals, in terms of steps. So yun yung kinaganda with this kind of technology tools. Actually, hindi na ako binibigyan ni Ufer ng part para for me to edit, but here I can actually ask for budget, etc. etc. for face-to-face engagement. So dito nagko-collab na kami ni Ufer, and what's nice here is again, ang vision for using Microsoft Loop component is when you have that link and paste it to a Word document moving forward, automatic pwede mo siyang ma-edit doon. And kung nag-update ka dito, nag-update din doon sa Word document. Imagine that landscape or use case wherein you have an Excel file, then you have a loop or probably a report into your PowerPoint. Hindi mo kailangan isipin na hala, na-update ko ba yung kabila? Kasi yung file fidelity, very important. So from here, it actually removes that barrier and giving you that flexibility to still be productive using just one application, using that one link so that you can continue yung mga ginagawang project and you can collab with a lot of people. Okay? So that's Microsoft Loop component. Ano pa yung pwede natin gawin inside? Another great insight for this using Microsoft Teams, probably you haven't seen it aside from sending message, is the capability to send a video or audio. So imagine in the scenario na nasa field ka, okay? And then at the same time, you want your people to see kung ano yung look and feel. So I'll turn off my video in Microsoft Teams for the moment from this webinar so that I would be able to check it here. Okay. Let's try. There we go. So you can see my background now. It's a little bit messy. So from here, I can record a video clip for 1 minute. So let's say may mga kailangan makita in an area, inspector, hindi siya makapunta because nagkaroon ng traffic or probably biglang meeting pinatawag in central office. So I can record the video and just give them, hey, on this side, may mga kailangan tayong materials na kailangan natin i-dispose. And instead of typing and sending an image, it's better that you can just tell them directly, diba? And give them a tour. And once you're okay with that, you can stop and then click review. So kung may mga areas na may mga nag-aayos ka pa ng camera, you can adjust. Okay, and then click on send once you were able to trim. So itong area na to, this is the start of the video and this is the end of the video. So I can click send. So instead of me typing or sending an image at kailangan ng urgent action at makita agad yung full details on the field itself, so pwede kong ipakita yan. Okay? So imagine ako, nakikita ko pag opening ng class, ano yung report dyan sa region 1? Ano yung itsura? May mga ano ba? May mga scenario ba na kailangan bigyan ng action? So here is a great tool na para mas mabilis natin makuha yung mga details in terms of communication with others. Okay? Kahit different regions pa yan. Okay? Or divisions. Now, so those are the things na pwede mong gawin, and this is just a one-to-one chat. So if I want to add more people, so I just click on the plus sign, and then let's say I need help from Charles. So I just click on add, and then once I click on add, automatic gagawa siya ng new conversation na kasama si Ufer and si Charles, and dito na kami magko-collaborate. Hi, we need your help. So if you need to call the attention of others, just kunyari, let's say for example, Charles. Ayan. So mag-enter ka na ng chat here. And what's really nice here in terms of files, when you communicate with others, lahat ng files mo nandito na. You can upload the file, automatic it will be here. And from here, let's say, for example, I can share this to the chat, okay? Or probably wait for a few minutes or a few seconds. So ang mangyayari kasi dyan is when you click on files, nandyan na yung mga files na kailangan mo, and you can now add and edit yung mga files mo with that person. Okay? So similar to your communication with your one-to-one chat is with your teams. So sa teams, let's say for example, I have here this DepEd Tech webinar series, and later on we will encourage everyone to join this community. So let's say for example, I have here general help desk, and look, as you can see here, meron ako dyang admin na may lock. This is an indicator that this is a private channel. So for me to create a channel, just click on the ellipsis button in Teams, and then I'll click on Add Channel. And nandito yung options po natin from standard, private, and shared is nasa baba, supposedly. Okay? So from here, I'll put here, let's say, test and delete after. Kasi this is just for demo purposes. So I'll click on standard or private na lang para sure na si Ufer lang or si Ufer lang or specific person na i-add mo for this conversation. So I'll add here Ufer. And then click on add. Okay, so once I'm done, I'll just click OK. And then automatic, ang may access lang dito is si Ufer and ako. Regardless kung ilan yung may access dito, let's say we invite you on this thread, ang may access lang sa test and delete after is Ufer and I. Okay, so that's the power of your Office 365 with your Microsoft Teams inside. So nandito na yung mga files mo, your SharePoint, you can create a Word document inside. So if I click here, memo creation. Okay, if you have templates in place, ang kinaganda dyan is automatic. Yung mga templates po natin, pwede natin i-fill. Okay? Or pwede tayo mag-upload. Para kunyari may mga format talaga for memo, you can ask your IT team to create. When you have your team site, pwede tayong i-upload yung template para yun na lang yung gagamitin natin without you saving us yung mga documents natin. Diba? So from here, let's say for example, if my colleagues are here, I'll just put it in the chat box namin. Okay? And then I can ask them to edit the memo, for example. So in this scenario, I'm not opening Microsoft Word desktop application. I'm just using the web browser, and nandito na ako sa Word Online. So what's nice here is if ever someone is editing the document na naka-desktop computer, pwede niyang i-option na open and in desktop app. So yun yung kinaganda with this kind of tool that you have inside Microsoft Teams. And regardless kung Word, Excel, or PowerPoint yan, this would do the job for you. Okay? So Those are the scenarios na pwede ko pakita sa inyo, and whatever you do in Teams is also applicable to chat. So yung one-to-one chat natin is also applicable to your Teams. So let's say, for example, here in the help desk, need help, or in the admin, so pwede ako mag-respond in a conversation. So please don't treat it na parang chat box ang new conversation, kasi treat it as parang new email. So whenever you collaborate with others, so I can just click on reply here. So ito yung sinuggest ni Christian, noted. So whenever you acknowledge an email or a message inside Microsoft Teams, it's better na if you don't have the time to type, meron naman tayong mga emojis, di ba? So just to acknowledge, para alam naman natin na nabasa nung tao yung conversation. Okay? So those are the things na I can show to you as of the moment. There are a lot of things pa na pwede nyo explore inside Microsoft Teams, but for the meantime, yun yung pwede ko ipakita sa inyo. If you want to know more and magkaroon ng hands-on, please put that into your survey, okay? To your as part of the comments, diba? Okay, so whenever your files are there, diba, the good thing with Microsoft Teams is you can mention a person, it's faster. What's nice there is nanonotify siya. Remember, nakita nyo naman yung mga urgent items, merong notifications in place. You can use Microsoft Loop in a conversation para automatic, doon na kayo nagko-collaborate without opening a Microsoft Word na kailangan tayo mag-sync. So sa chat pa lang inside Microsoft Teams, pwede ko nang gawin yun using the loop component. Okay? Also the capability of, di ba, ang hirap pa nagta-type or even sending a picture one by one. Why not just send an audio and do a video message? Di ba? Mas mabilis yun rather than hintay mo pa. Ang hirap gumawa kaya ng mga ganong reports. And also, of course, we in terms of files access, centralize siya, whatever conversation that you have with that person, doon lang sa topmost, yung tab natin, may file section, nandun lahat yung mga files na kino-collaborate nyo. And if you have teams within your department or your on a specific project, consolidate yan inside those files. Okay? So let me just go back to my slide. There we go. Now, accessing your files, it's very, ang kinaganda niya is centralized. Pinakita lang dito, and this will serve as your backup. Okay? Very important na ngayon na paano kung nag-crash yung computer mo? Diba? Nag-crash landing on you. Diba? So, paano mo ngayon kukunin yung mga files mo? So, what's nice here is, as long as you put that in Microsoft Teams, all of your files are backup. Okay? If you're using the chat functionality, medyo technical lang, not really technical, just to give you information. When you upload the file inside the chat, it goes to your OneDrive. When you use team, yung team natin kanina, it goes to your SharePoint. So don't worry, we'll go more details in the future or magkaroon tayo na hands-on on using those tools. Okay? Now, let's say, for example, in a conversation, in a communication, going back to the scenario natin kanina na nag-uusap tayo, hey, saan tayo pupunta, etc., etc. Kailangan natin mag-meet. So, you can actually convert a chat into a meeting. So, a video call or a voice call. So, yun yung kinaganda with Microsoft Teams. And when you conduct a Teams meeting, you have two options. Okay? You can do Meet Now. So, without me creating a calendar invite, if I click on Meet Now and share you just the link, automatic you can join the call. And for me, for best practice, moving forward, if I need to schedule a meeting with others, better to do a schedule a meeting. Okay? Ito yung mga Meet Now, yung mga impromptu, yung mga urgent scenarios na kailangan nating pag-usapan. Of course, minsan ang tagal pag nag-email, di ba? So at least when you Meet Now, automatic, makuha mo agad yung answer from that person. Okay? And when you create a meeting, what's really nice there, you have a lot of options to do. Let's say on a pre and post environment. When you say pre and post, whatever you do before the meeting, during the meeting, and after the meeting. Don't worry, I have Microsoft created this one-pager on what you can do before, during, and after. We will share you to our community group. Doon namin upload yung mga files and even this recording and even this PowerPoint presentation. So the meeting options there is you have those option na magkaroon din ng co-organizer in the scenario na wala ako. Probably you, Charles, or Felice can take over. There are options din na kung nahihirapan ka na, hala, magre-record, paano kung hindi na-record? So minsan nakakalimutan, especially on important meetings, pinag-uusapan ng budget, pero kailangan mo ng backup in terms of ano nga pala pinag-usapan. So you can actually set the settings to record automatically, di ba? Or even if you create a webinar series and you want to enable yung Q&A functionality, meron po tayo dyang Q&A. Okay? So there are a lot of options whenever you click on the meeting options. Okay? And don't worry, we'll go more details about it if we have a meeting or a session or episode for doing a meeting invite for virtual meetings. And when you create a meeting invite, this is how it looks like inside your Teams calendar. So remember, just going back, nandito po lahat yung mga apps sa navigation bar mo, yung mga applications mo. If you click on the calendar, nandito yung mga schedules mo for today. Okay? And from here, we also have the Teams channels meeting. So you can create a meeting lang or gusto mo specific lahat ng conversation recording inside that Teams meeting or Teams channel. And this is how it looks like if you're using a Outlook version. Okay? And if ever naman, if forward mo yan to another person who is using a different email program, automatic, ito rin yung makikita niya. Just click here to join the meeting, automatic mo join siya sa meeting. Okay? And when you join to a meeting, from here, you will see, magpa-prompt agad yung dialog box telling you na, oh, these are the things that you can do. Okay? You can turn on the video. You can even change the background. Okay? So from here, si Ufer, he has this beautiful background. But if you want to change pa rin yung background, like for example, this one, you can actually do so. And if you need to change yung mga settings, some of the people I know, they have an external mic or an external camera. You can change it here directly. So you don't have to go back and forth, test and run. Dito ka na mag-test and run prior to joining the call. Okay? And itong phone audio, if you have a phone, pwede i-connect as long as you have that capability in your Microsoft Teams. May phone audio, may room audio, or if you just want to see lang yung slides, pwede kang don't use audio. Okay? So if you click on join now, or probably the background filter, ito yung mga options mo. So there are pre-built virtual backgrounds that you can use. And what's nice there is you can add your own background. But again, if ever there would be a branding inside DepEd, na ito yung gagamitin natin officially when we use Microsoft Teams, your IT admin can actually create or add na automatic. Okay, so sa amin, in our organization, even if we're just using our mobile phone, syempre ang challenge yan is, paano yung background namin? Wala akong background doon. Kailangan ko i-upload, wala ko yung photo. So what's nice there is all of the templates, all the background filters that we have, naka-upload na in our back end ng Microsoft Teams. And then doon na lang namin sa end user, I'll just simply add the filter and then that's it. Okay, so that's the capability of your Microsoft Teams, whether you're using a laptop, a smartphone, or even a different device na meron ka, pwede mong gawin yung virtual background. Okay? Now, possible use case about why do you need to use virtual backgrounds is really because of privacy of space. Minsan nagkakaroon ng data privacy. So just so you know, some of the people I know, when they present, nakalagay dyan yung mga kung saan sila gumraduate, kung anong taon. So minsan hindi naman napapansin. It's good, really good at the back end. Pero may mga scenarios kasi na nare-report that there is a data privacy breach when you do that. Kaya for you to be safe, it's better that you have your virtual background on. So kanina nakita niyo naman how cluttered naman yung space ko. So better talaga na naka-on yung background nyo. And of course, branding-wise. Diba? When you take a screenshot, at least everyone on the same page at the look and feel. Okay? And later on, I'll share you one more feature and capability na what if gusto namin, isa lang yung look namin, di ba? Yung background. So we're gonna talk about it later. Okay? Another scenario that what I really like, I think this was last year na nakita ko inside Microsoft Teams, is the capability to lock the meeting. So let's say nagsiset na ako ng meeting with every one of you, okay? Pero just so happen na I need to talk to you for alone muna. So imagine in the landscape na parang nandun tayo sa physical space. Tinawag ko muna si Ufer para mag-usap kami on certain details about the slides. So, i-close ko yung door. So, ilalock ko muna yung meeting so that everyone, di ba? Though may lobby naman tayo, pero minsan kasi kung directly invited ka, automatic nakaka-join ka. So, I can lock that meeting and then talk to you first. So, once I do that, if I click on the participants and then click on the settings, lock the meeting, ito ipapakita niya. No one else will be able to join the call. Pero of course, pag nire-record mo at the same time, access nila. Pero for this scenario, once you click on lock, automatic, hindi makakapasok yung iba. So just unlock na lang once you're done so that everyone can join afterwards. Okay? So yan po yung mga scenarios. Again, private conversations for selected people invited to a call. Now, another great capability of using your Microsoft Teams is yung mga add-ons niya. Like for example, the noise suppression. So what you can see in the screen right now is Mike Thompson from Microsoft is actually eating a bag of chips. So syempre, minsan pag naka-virtual ka naman, di ba ang hirap pag nagutom ka na, yun yung kinaganda din ng virtual. Anytime pwede ka mag-call ng chips. Pero minsan, for those people who are auditory, ang bilis nilang nadidistract if they hear some, di ba, nagka-crunch ng mga, nagka-crunch yung chips or probably may nagva-vacuum at the background, nangyayari po yan. So what's nice here is there's a noise suppression. Ang ginagawa niya is nire-remove niya yung background noise. And this actually happens to me. I have my toddler wherein iyak siya na iyak, I have a meeting, so di ba minsan sasabihin mo, quiet muna, wag muna, syempre toddler, iyak pa rin yan. So what's nice there is, sinasabi ko, hindi nyo ba naririnig? Sabi niya, hindi. So tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung meeting, hindi siya nakadistract for that meeting. Of course, depende na sa'yo kung paano kaya mo i-tolerate yung anak mo while crying. Pero at the same time, the technology supports noise suppression so that you can focus on delivering those meetings na better. Okay? And then what else? What's really nice also that you can do inside Microsoft Teams is your sharing capability. There are a lot of ways for you to share files or even your screen. So dito pinapakita ko lang na there's a capability that you can share your PowerPoint presentation. There is an option inside PowerPoint na present in Teams, automatic sa Teams na agad. Or you can do in Microsoft Teams na PowerPoint Live. So once you click on that, as long as nakasave yan sa OneDrive or SharePoint, yung lahat ng mga recent documents mo nandiyan, so magpe-present ka na. So yung mga scenario na yan, bakit mo kailangan gamitin yung PowerPoint Live? Let's say for example, you're using one monitor and at the same time, you want to have that notes mo inside your Microsoft Teams. Diba? Ang hirap, wala kang notes. Kaya yung iba, nagpiprint, kailangan pa nila ng another monitor or another computer para lang i-open yung mga notes nila. So what's nice here is when you do PowerPoint Live, automatic, the view there is meron ka ng notes, and at the same time, if you want to see your audience, you can actually see them. So this is how it looks like when you do PowerPoint Live. And the capability of that is you can also do a private view. So the private view, you're giving access to the participants to go onto the slides na. Pwede sila mag-advance. Pero at the same time, if you turn this off, automatic nakafocus lang sila dun sa current slide mo. So those are the capabilities that you can do inside PowerPoint Live. Okay? And what's nice now is nagdagdag pa sila ng capability to do Excel Live. So hindi na sila natapos sa PowerPoint Live, naggawa pa sila ng Excel Live. So what are the use case scenario of using Excel Live? So reporting, mga budgets, di ba? And nandito na tayo sa call and kailangan natin mag-churn up ng mga numbers in terms of projections. So what you can do here is just do Excel Live. They don't need to open their Excel application right there in Microsoft Teams. I can edit directly. So doon na tayo mag-edit. Basta nandun lang kami sa call, ayan, doon kami mag-edit. Makikita mo kung sino nag-edit and that's really nice and that's really powerful na in-add ni Microsoft in terms of using this application. Okay, this is what we call Excel Live. Okay, and siguro I'll just give you a run through lang on this very fast. The power of more in Teams meeting. Kasi in Teams, there are a lot of capabilities na pwede mo pang enhance. And I want you to use this time to think of other scenarios na pwede nyo gamitin inside your department, inside your organization, or different scenarios in your projects. Okay? So we have here the together mode. So remember, kanina pinakita ko sa inyo yung sharing ng video, etc., etc. At the same time, gusto makita yung iba. So, usually nakikita naman natin na banded sila like this one, di ba? So, may mga frames, etc., etc. But you can actually do a together mode. So, kahit na nag-change ka dito, medyo hindi pa rin maganda yung look and feel na iba, pare-pares kami ng background, pero frame pa rin siya. Gusto mo, we're just in one space or in just one room. So, from here, you can enable the together mode, okay, para ma-imitate yung room environment. And what's nice here is you can add backgrounds to your together mode, and at the same time, if you're the organizer, what's new in a together mode, you can assign seats. Dati kasi random siya. Random kung sino uupo. So let's say, for example, gusto mo sa harap si Ufer. So I'll just put Ufer there, or probably si Christian on the other end. So pwede mong magkaroon ng seating arrangement. Ako, how I see it is, it can be like a session with the regional office, di ba? Tapos nandun yung mga SDS natin na nagre-represent. So pwedeng Region 1 dito, Region 2, Region 3. So pwede mong iset yung seating arrangement for everyone para pa nag-picture, automatic nandyan. So if you're doing a hybrid environment, and this is what I saw in some of the organizations na kilala ko, ang ginawa nila is kahit nasa face-to-face kami, naka-login pa rin kami for a meeting. Okay? Naka-login pa din ako. Or naka-login pa din sila para make sure lang na kunyari may mga concerns ako or may mga comments ako, I can put that already dun sa conversation thread. 'Di ba? Rather than sa endpass communications, ay para nakaligtaan. So what's nice here is pag kailangan mo rin mag-turn ng video, lalo na pag together mode, i-on mo lang tapos thread na for picture. Okay? Breakout rooms. So this is a scenario, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na let's say different regions, 'di ba? Nandiyan. Pero meron tayong big event, may plenary, and I need to make a room for region 1, region 2, region 3, or different divisions or different departments inside the central office. So I can do breakout rooms and assign people. The latest update then, you can have a co-organizer then to assign yung mga breakout rooms. So yun yung kinaganda sa kanya. So one scenario again is can be yung per region or per department or per team. For a specific project. So yun yung mga pwede nyo gawin inside your Microsoft Teams. Okay, so sharing your screen desktop, let's say nagpapa-troubleshoot ka with your IT or help desk, or you're doing a demo, teaching another person on using the tools that you have inside the central office or inside the PED. So ayan yung mga options mo to do so. Okay? I highly suggest if you're sharing screen at you don't want to share everything, you click on the window. Kasi when you click on the window, specific window lang isa-select mo. Kaya minsan, di ba, pag nag-alt tab, ay, may projection. Sorry, mali. Nakita yung sahod na nung, let's say for example, kita na yung sahod ni Charles, di ba? So yun yung iniiwasan natin. So play it safe. If you want to share, wag nyo i-share agad by default using the whole or the entire screen. Just share a window kung ano lang yung kailangan mo i-present. Okay? Not unless nagba-back and forth ka talaga on different applications. Now, another great tool as case scenario na hybrid setup. You have someone in the call and at the same time may nagsusulat on the board, may whiteboard. So I'll just play this video just to show you how it looks like when you share it. We called it content from camera. So you have different options, whiteboard, document, and I think the camera. So here I put their whiteboard. So kung may whiteboard ka, i-detect niya using the green area. And once you click on share, automatic yan, i-scan niya na ito na yung area na gagamitin ko. Okay, so from here, as you can see, I'll just write something at the board. Okay, so hindi pa siya, natatakpan ko pa siya. Pero once na na-detect na may AI capability siya, okay, pag pinatungan ko na, nagkakaroon ng overlay. So that inclusive siya in terms of for those people who are joining the call at nakaharang ka dun sa screen. So ayan po yung pwede nyong gawin inside your hybrid space environment. So very smart in such a way na hindi ka mahirapan na isipin na nakikita ba ng mga nandun sa call? So pwede ka mag-overlay. And it can actually do it, pwede mo rin gamitin yan for a document. So may ini-scan ka na document, pinapakita mo for everyone. It's better that you do this. Do it on this kind of approach. Okay? So hybrid setup with physical whiteboard or a document or anything that you can write on. Okay? If you don't have It's okay, no worries. You have your digital whiteboard. So when you have that digital whiteboard, it's built in your Microsoft Teams. Just click on share button, and then you can look for Microsoft Whiteboard. It will open the application. Hindi siya lalabas ng another app ng Microsoft Teams. Again, sa loob ng Microsoft Teams, it will load yung whiteboard mo. You can preload yung mga environment mo na whiteboard, but in this case, I'll just click on new whiteboard and I want to collaborate with others. And when I do that, automatic yan, magkakaroon sila ng access on text, notes, reactions, templates, images. So there are a lot of things na pwede natin gawin. And unlimited yung ating whiteboard. So pwede ka mag-extend up to this side or the right side or up, down. So mas madaling mag-collaborate. Minsan kasi kinukulang tayo in terms of the whiteboard, di ba? Okay? So it's very good for brainstorming. If you're the type of person who wants to enhance yung experience niya and enhance his capability to present, inside your Microsoft Teams, more options lang, there is speaker coach. Just turn it on when you do meetings, when you facilitate, or probably you're doing a presentation, it will give you suggestions on your pacing, yung filler words mo like ums and us, sasabihin niya kung kailan mo sinabi yan, tuwing ilang beses mo siguro sinabi, and then yung mga intonation, kung monologue ka ba, nakakaantok ba, hindi ka nagpapalit ng mga voice intonation mo. So those are the things na pwede mo gawin. Before, it's just in PowerPoint. Now they put it inside Microsoft Teams para all applications, when you do presentations, na nag-grade mo din yung sarili mo as a speaker. Okay? So you can improve your presentation skills. Now, speaking of inclusiveness or inclusivity, latest update also in Microsoft Teams is yung sign language. So in the more options, when you click on that, if you are the type of person na kailangan ng help in terms of translating, so kailangan may sign language. So mas malaki yung area ng tao ng interpreter para doon ka nakafocus. So what's nice here is hindi ko kailangan, before di ba ginagawa natin, nire-right click spotlight on for that person, pero not everyone wants to have that. Okay? So may mga specific people na kailangan lang talaga na, okay, I need to follow someone kasi I need to read kung paano niya sinasign language. So what's here is, it's like a toggle lang na ito turn on off, tapos automatic ito yung view niya. And there's an indicator that this is a interpreter or siya yung nagsasign language. Okay? So easy toggle na lang for everyone when you use Microsoft Teams. Now, when you engage with different people, it's easy kasi you have survey tools while doing your presentation. Like now, you have Q&A. We're using Teams Live Event. But here you have polls. Okay, just checking how are you today. And then probably quick survey. If you have Poly, okay, pwede mo rin siyang gamitin for mga games, di ba? Pwede mo gamitin si Poly. So what's nice there is meron siyang game na pang icebreaker, di ba? So i-add mo lang siya inside Microsoft Teams. So si Poly is not created by Microsoft. So the good thing here with Microsoft Teams, even third-party applications you can integrate inside Microsoft Teams. Okay? So Q&A, case scenario yan is most of the time when we use a virtual meeting, lahat tayo nagchat-chat. And our questions are in the chat as well. So how do you now consolidate those questions? And syempre for those moderators, paano ko matatrack nasa na yung question or what? Diba? So again, lahat ng mga conversations, mga comments, nandito na sa chat. But there is a portion in your Microsoft Teams na Q&A. Pag kilit nila yung Q&A, nandun na lahat yung mga questions. They can like it. If someone respond and that's the best answer, you as a moderator can mark it as the best answer. So para alam din yung mga ibang tao na, okay, so hindi ko na kailangan mag-chat pa ng best answer kasi ito na. So again, that's the power of your Microsoft Teams. Of course, for those people who can't attend the meeting, so this is for you, you can record the meeting. So what's nice here, it's built in. Just click on more options and then click on start recording. And for those na who needs to recap, lalo na pag may mga training like this, so pwede nyong gamitin si recording para hindi mo na siya kailangang ulitin. Okay? Again, for those who won't be able to attend the meeting because of certain scenarios or bigla na wala ng internet, you can rewatch the meeting afterwards para you can still get yung gist. Hindi kailangan ulitin. May minutes of the meeting pero minsan kulang minutes of the meeting. You want to have that backup in terms of conversation. Okay? Transcriptions, pwedeng can help on minutes of the meeting. So makikita dito when you speak, there are certain languages, specifically for English, automatic, lalabas na dito sa right side yung sinasabi mo. Okay? So once you speak, automatic, tina-transcribe niya na inside Microsoft Teams. So that after the meeting, you can actually extract that and nandiyan na word for word kung ano yung sinabi niya. Okay? Again, with certain languages supported. Okay? Now, just mga FYI, event engagement, we have other tools that you can do. You can do Teams webinar or Teams live event. Such as this, kunyari, maramihan tayo nationwide. I can do Teams live event. It can support up to 20K attendees as of the moment. But you can also extend it. Mag-ask na kayo ng help with Microsoft. It can extend up to 100K. Okay, so use case yan, nationwide live events or hybrid events. Okay. There's another tool na pwede mong gawin aside from meetings, di ba? May Teams live event ka. For those naman na gumagawa ng mga webinar series such as this, pwedeng make registration tapos automatic hindi mo naisipin yung magsisend ng calendar invite or reminder. This is the right tool for you. Webinar can support up to 1,000 attendees. So kung okay ka na doon, ito yung gagamitin mo for this kind of event. So let's say yan, nakalagay naman yung mga possible use case like from YFD, di ba? Or si BHROD may training nationwide. Okay. Some of the tools na pwede natin gamitin in terms of streamlining the process. This is what we call the approvals app. So we can have another session for this. But what's really nice about this is yung mga manual process natin. I used to work in a government office before, and then meron pa kami logbook. Pero ang challenge ko minsan sa logbook, hindi ko nakikita kung nasaan na yung routing ng document. So what's nice here is in terms of approvals, alam ko kung nasaan yung routing ng document and sino yung mga approver. Okay, so as simple as leave form, or it can be something like hiring a person with the help of HR. Ito yung approver. Tapos makikita mo kung kailan nila in-approve, etc., etc., or kung may comments or reject. So in one view, makikita mo na siya in your screen. Okay? So yung mga document approval, wala na tayong ang logbook mo is inside Microsoft Teams na. Okay? So yan, so makikita nyo po dito, nandyan yung details, di ba? Ayan, sino yung approver, kailan at anong oras. Nakalag po yan. Okay? So for social emotional well-being of the employees inside Department of Education, meron tayong Viva Insights. And we will have another episode on that. So what's nice here is really more of checking you. How are you today? How are you tomorrow? How are you for the whole week? And probably ano yung behavior mo in terms of work style inside the organization when setting up a meeting. So paano mo may improve yan? What's really nice here, it gives recommendation, meron tayong tinatawag na inspiration library, and it gives suggestions. So maraming mga research done in place na nilagay nila dito with Viva Insights, and even meditation, like they partnered with Headspace for you to breathe in and breathe out, to meditate, para to release those things na nakaka-stress, diba? Kailangan ko ng inspiration, or kinakabahan ako, may presentation ako, kailangan kong mag-meditate. So meron siyang built-in inside Microsoft Teams. Okay? So again, all of those things are very powerful. It's very with the tools that you have using in this scenario, in this episode, the flexibility of doing hybrid workplace. There are a lot of tools that I've shared you. We can talk more about it in our conversation in our community, whether you're using a desktop, laptop, or a smartphone. Okay, and what's nice here is it's centralized all of my communication and collaboration in just one application. It's there, and I know for a fact that it's secured and accessible for everyone.